I just had a very scary moment. Hello, hello, hello! Welcome to another vlog. And I'm going to keep this super short and sweet because I am on my way to Zion National Park. I am driving solo because I'm going to Jerry Seinfeld's stand-up Saturday night, so I have to come home early before everybody else. Justin is just behind me a couple miles. I'm going to have an epic vlog for you. Get ready. Alright, it is 6 a.m. here in Zion. Still dark, still cold, still early, but we're packing up to get an early start. Today we're going to be out canyoneering and hiking for about 12 hours, so we got to get going early. We all slept in this trailer tent last night. Actually quite nice and comfy and warm. Guys, hey, I've got an exclusive on today's footage. So if you see anything from our life in Holland, this is our life in Zion. So follow us here. So Justin, if you would please not record anything today. Yeah. So I've got the exclusive. Hey, good morning, everyone. All right, we had two roads diverge in an open wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and Justin took the one more traveled by. And we think that's the one, we're not sure. Red Rover, Red Rover, Red Rover. Send Justin on over. So, have you found the ridge yet, Jet?
No, not yet. I'm still following the ATV tracks, though.
Okay, I'm making my way back to the group, and I guess we'll just head your way. Mine just felt like it was starting to backtrack. I don't know, dude.
I copy that. I think I'm close to the ridge line right now. So give me a minute. By the time you get back there, I'll know where I'm at.
Copy. We're lost. So Justin has the drone in the sky. See if we can find our way.
That might be the drop right
Look, guys, so where's the drone right now, though? That way. I see fresh tracks.
Yep, definitely human.
Yeah, this was today. Let's carry on.
The fact that we're seeing tracks is probably a good thing.
We have determined our delay probably cost us an hour. So there's a decent chance we're going to miss the bus out. So this canyon leads into the Narrows, which is a very popular spot in Zion, and there's a shuttle bus that you can pick up there and take it back to camp essentially. The last one's at 7:15. If we miss that, it's a 6-mile trek out on foot, which would obviously add a good 2 hours probably to our journey. But
There's the logger.
there it is.
Woo!
Yes, we did it. We did it. The logger, the log loader.
That is a unique logger.
Very unique. All right, I'm getting a little bit of a blister forming, so I told the guys to go on. We did finally find the wash. I got some moleskin. If you've never used this stuff, take it on hikes. It'll absolutely save you from blisters. So I'm just gonna cut a piece. Yeah, just right here has been kind of rubbing. That's actually a pretty big piece there. These are nice and thick. I like them. Never leave any litter behind. That's not cool. Always good to have a Leatherman with you when you're out and about, because these things are super handy. Same thing on this side. You do not want to have your feet bugging you canyoneering and hiking. Yeah, that instantly feels better. So again, moleskin is a fantastic thing to have with you whenever you're doing a big hike, canyoneering, stuff like this. So anyway, I'm gonna try and jog now, catch up to those guys. Okay, we have arrived at the destination. Holy cow. Dude, are you freaking kidding me? Jeez. Here we go. That was like a 5-second drop.
That hit.
Holy cow. Like, I'm having a hard time slowing down even. I just had a very scary moment. This is like 260 something feet. And it is the fastest I've ever gone. I think it's because the rope's brand new too. Thank goodness I thought of that in advance. Decided to put a different, new, thicker pair of gloves on. And no joke, if I had not done it, I would be in big trouble. I was zipping down, was able to slow myself down at least, but was not able to stop, was not able to be like in a very controlled fall about halfway down. And came all the way down this and actually slammed onto my back right here at the bottom. We'll see if my pack's all messed up or not. It was no joke though. That was a scary, scary moment. So I've radioed up to those guys, told them they're gonna need to double up. There's some extra stuff you can do with the ATC to double it up. My ATC, it's been several minutes, it's still hot. It's still hot. So that was scary, I'm not gonna lie. So, pretty epic second wrap. You good? So, looking back up,
He's got my device.
that's where we came from. That happened from my free fall. Through the glove. Do it right now. Give me that pin. No, it didn't at all, actually.
You want like some of this on a Band-Aid and then the emulsion on top of that?
Hang on, Joe. I'm lancing this blister pretty good. That's great, dude. Not the end of the world. I do feel something in my ribs on my right side, but no.
At least a bruise, if not like a crack or something.
Did you hear it thud?
It was so loud, dude. I thought you like landed on a boulder and dislodged something, and then you were kind of like going oh like this, and I was thinking like I didn't know what, and I heard the shit, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, he's hurt.
I don't usually curse, but I was shaking up, man.
I think you might get a pass on that one.
Yeah. Okay. All right, got a little Neosporin. A little Band-Aid. I honestly might just go with this and not worry about the moleskin right now. I guess it's pretty much the same thing. Alright. Okay, here we come. Sorry. So from my little tumble, I'm feeling a little rib discomfort. It doesn't really hurt, but when I go down and use my right hand to kind of strongly brake, I can feel it kind of shifting and moving around. So I'm kind of doubling up on the rappel to go a little slower, which is helping a lot. The only way you can see this stuff is by watching YouTube or by getting down here and doing it. If you're wondering what the debris from a flash flood looks like, you do not want this thing hitting you. Coming down river, a massive tree, huge tree, just slamming you. Yeah. These slot canyons are so sick.
You know, just fighting some wind is what it means.
You don't have your climbing shoes.
Oh gosh. Got that. All right, I've placed the over-under at 1%. Think he has a greater than 1% chance or a less than 1% chance? Don't get hurt, Ryan. Give props where props are due. Justin did actually make it up there. Woo! It was an out-of-control rappel, a controlled fall. So we came down Englestead Hollow, which is a canyon, slot canyon. It met up with Orderville Canyon, which we're in now. I don't think there's any rappels through here, but it is very narrow, super epic slot canyon. Meets up with the actual narrows. We hike out. So we don't think there's any rappels left. We're not sure. We've already done. How many rappels do you think we've done today?
Pardon me?
How many rappels do you think we did today? At least 10.
Yeah, 10. Between 10 and 12, I guess.
So would between 10 and 12 mean 11?
Yeah, sure.
I think it was more than that. I think it might have been 12 plus. We almost brought wetsuits, and I'm very glad we didn't, because I think this is really the only area we would have needed them in. And then the narrows. That's like ankle deep, knee deep maybe in spots. Dude, check this out. Hey-o. It's real narrow up here. Look at that. Looks like a couple feet wide is all. I'm the only one who has successfully managed to stay dry. They're all wet. Walking with wet shoes, wet feet, wet socks. Annoying. This is Orderville Canyon though, and it is sick. I'm not sure how many shots we're gonna have of us turning the corner, but it just keeps impressing us every time we do. You can see why. Nice little waterfall. Got the ferns coming out. Got Justin getting some pics. Hey man, what's been your favorite part about today?
Just you.
Appreciate it. Sick trick, bro. Got people behind you. I think I've decided this is like one of my favorite canyons, man. I mean, it was just rappel after rappel after rappel to start, which all of them were way fun, and they were all pretty good size. The first one was obviously enormous, and then the last one was pretty big too. Several good ones in the middle, and it was just boom, 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 boom. And then look, we get to end in all of this slot canyon epicness. So between the rappels, the beauty, the adventure, the adrenaline rush, this one's up there pretty high for me. Okay, we have reached the narrows. So from here we just hike down. Hey Justin, we have reached the narrows, everybody. The narrows.
So we gotta head back down this way.
The narrows are actually quite a bit wider than what we've been in though. Hey, what's up? I'm up here on the ridge. I'm actually having to say goodbye to these guys. Got to get back for Seinfeld. Actually super bummed. We got about an hour later start than we needed to this morning. We didn't realize the drive to get here and then the approach was as long as it is. So beautiful out here, by the way. You see that? Anyway, it just took us too long, and we're still probably an hour from dropping into the canyon. And so there's a 0% chance I would make it back in time for Seinfeld. And I have the tickets for my friends. And I'm probably 5 hours, if I continued on, I'd probably be at least 5 hours from getting service again. And I want to talk more about what happened on that fall in Englestead. It was pretty intense. I've honestly probably never been more scared in my entire life. So it's a single strand rappel. If you do two ropes, if you do two ends of the rope through an ATC or any sort of rappel device, you're gonna go nice and slow. It's pretty simple. But true rappelling, true canyoneering, we never do that. We always do single strand. So it goes a little bit faster, but I've done it for years and years and years in many canyons all over Utah and even other parts of the world, including on rappels that were free hanging for 160 feet. And I was totally okay doing the same system I did at this one yesterday that was 260, 300, somewhere in there. I think it's 260. It's 300 feet if you combine the first two, but the second one is kind of like just off to the side. So where I fell to was 260 feet below. But I didn't really fall. It was a controlled fall, an out of control rappel, because I just got going too fast. We had a brand new rope. It went straight from the spool into my hydrobot, and it was intense. Yeah, it was an out of control rappel, a controlled fall. But the rope was brand spanking new right off the spool, so it was just as smooth as could be. And on top of that, it's 260 feet of pure vertical, a lot of which I was free hanging for, probably because I was just falling too fast. But pretty early on, but unfortunately in a spot where there was nothing I could do about it at that point, I realized that I felt like I had less control than usual. I was falling at a faster pace. I couldn't completely stop myself. I could slow myself down, but I couldn't stop myself. And the lower I got, the faster it got, for a couple of reasons. One, the friction's less and less as the ATC or the rappel device. It's a hydrobot that I have. As it heats up and the rope heats up and everything heats up, the friction gets less and less and less. Also, as you're going down and you're trying so hard to stop yourself, to break yourself, your strength gets a little bit less. And then the other thing is the weight of the rope beneath you gets less and less. And so the lower you get, the faster you're going. And I don't know about how far down I was when I realized, like, this is not good. Probably about halfway down, I realized like I'm not going to be able to stop myself. And I had fully, so you pull down to the right, and I had even wrapped it underneath my butt to brake myself as much as I can. That's never not worked for me. Anytime I, braked fully and then I also wrap it underneath my butt, it just adds one more piece of leverage and piece of friction. And I've always been able to stop no problem and just rest, even pull my GoPro out. Like, I've done it for years, but it was not working. And that's how I got this. I mean, it's because I was wrapped underneath, so that's why it's on the top, is because I was wrapped underneath like this. And looking back, like, it could have been so much worse than it was. Like, it was really stupid of me to not double wrap the rope, around my hydrobot, which it has that for added friction. Because I was the first one to go, so there's no fireman down below, which is the person that can pull on the rope to help you brake if you're coming down. So there's no one down there to help me. No one from the top can do anything. And I should have double wrapped. I did initially to start. It felt like it was just going to be too slow, which it always has been in the past for me. I've never ended up actually using it. And I learned a lesson the hard way, but the lucky and blessed way, which is I didn't get hurt. But I started going out of control pretty quick to where I was then. So if this is the wall, and normally you're rappelling facing the wall like this, and you push off, I got to a point where I was twisted, looking down at the ground below me, wrapped under like this, kind of free falling, and I got a teeny scrape on my elbow, nothing serious at all, but that happened. The backpack's scraping, and I started to actually push off from behind me, trying to, with as much grip as I could on my shoes, to brake myself as I was falling. And again, it was a controlled fall, an out of control rappel, but I was just going faster and faster, and the rope on my hand was getting hotter and hotter on both hands, and I'm gripping as hard as I can above to try and slow it down as well as I am below, with the main rappel brake hand. And I could feel it burning my hands through. I've got another blister here, you can see. I had a little one on this finger that's kind of gone away. I popped all of them yesterday, but anyway, got to a point where I was like, you know what? I don't care if this tears through my hands. I am not falling to my death right now. So I just was gripping for all I was worth, and somehow, some way, I landed on my back, like flat on my back, which sounds horrible, except for the fact that I was wearing that big backpack yesterday that had a rolled up, kind of airtight cinch sack bag that had some air in it. I had some water bottles in there. The backpack itself has a nice curvature on the back with a little bit of a frame and some foam, and then some padding as well, so there's extra there. I had some harnesses in there, some food, and no joke, like that backpack, while it did add probably 30 pounds of weight, because I had webbing and some other climbing gear or canyoneering gear, while it did add probably 30 pounds of weight, it also added a huge cushion for me to where it honestly felt like I landed on an airbag. My ribs, like I say, have been bothering me, and in certain positions I can feel them actually moving, so I don't know if there's something serious wrong or not, but it doesn't really hurt that bad. But that backpack and me falling on my back somehow happened and saved me from some serious injuries. So let that be a lesson. I'm a very experienced canyoneer. I made a mistake and almost paid the price, but lesson learned. I got to have a backup safety device in place, and I've got to have a double wrap if I'm going down first on a big rappel. Absolutely got to double wrap the device. So I am okay. Lesson was learned, And it was ended up being a really fun day because the rest of the rappels were awesome, and I wasn't really in too much pain. I was able to enjoy it. So sad I'm missing out on this, but gonna get back and hopefully have some fun at Seinfeld. Hello again. One more thing about that infamous rappel. That was actually a pretty epic rappel. I hesitated to say this, but I want to be real entirely and always. I was praying. I wasn't like closing my eyes and praying, but I was praying to God that I would be able to slow myself down and not get hurt. And I am a man of God. I believe in God, and I do believe that I was protected. So, well, that might not sit right with some people that don't believe in God, and that's okay. I respect your beliefs as well. I believe that I was protected, and that felt pretty good. So I want to make sure I mentioned that to give credit where credit is due. Okay, so I wanted to show you what the Hydrobot is and how it works. This is a rappel device. It's a Hydrobot. Very, very handy for when you're doing lots of canyoneering. You're in a lot of different rappels. You're in the water, things like that. Because you don't have to take it off of your carabiner, so you can lock your carabiner and never unlock it the entire day. This stays on the device. So how it works is rope goes up through like this, and then it folds back in place, and then you loop it through here. So this is how I always go, just like that. So you've got this friction just through there. That's the only friction you have. So that's how I went, and yeah, it was a little too fast. What I should have done, and what I did start to do, is you wrap, it's got all these grooves, you wrap up, around, and then through. I was just like this. If you wrap up, around, and then through, you're good. And that's how I had everybody go after me. I was able to radio up to them, tell them what had happened. They all doubled up, and even they were coming down fast, and I was able to fireman them, which means I was at the bottom holding onto the end of their rope and pulling it for them, giving them extra strength, you know, from the bottom, which helps a ton. And when I would let go, they would start to go faster. So even doubled up, they were moving quicker than usual. So it was a big rappel, and I got lucky. So again, if you're doing a big rappel, make sure you take all the safety precautions. That's the better way to do it. You might go a little slow. The other thing is, while you're going, once you're moving fast, you're not going to be able to do that once you're moving fast, you know. But if you're moving slow, you can go pop and then pop. I've done that before, so I should have started like that. But anyway, that's how it works. I am safe. I am okay. I am going to continue to do this sport because it's fun and it is safe. But yeah, I thought that little explanation would help. I feel like the camera's tilted down. Hopefully you got all that. Peace. By the way, here's my sunglasses case. You'll see that it didn't just get smashed to smithereens. This was in my backpack, but it got smashed so forcefully that it actually cut in to itself. Instead of just smashing and crumpling, it cut into itself. So, I mean, it's smashed to smithereens, broken pieces falling out. Holy cow.